Some of my earliest gaming memories revolve around arcade beat-em-ups, and while I still find the genre entertaining, some that don't share my fond memories may find beat-em-ups a bit repetitive. Tunche by developer Leap Games Studios and publisher Hypertrain Digital embraces the genre's repetitive tendencies and combines them with roguelite elements. Along with downright gorgeous visuals and a rich folklore to draw from, it's a relatively solid single-player or cooperative battling experience as a package. Tunche's story follows 5 youths as they seek the Amazon spirit and game's namesake, Tunche. Each character has their own reasons for encountering the spirit, but to get to it they must travel down the banks of the Amazon River, which has recently been infested with several monstrous creatures. Many of these creatures and characters are drawn directly from South American folklore. It's nice seeing some tales and figures that are not often seen in gaming represented here. Along with the Amazon regions and setting, it immediately stands out as something a bit different. There are 4 regions in Tunche, each containing 10 levels and a boss at the end of each section. The gameplay feels similar to other beat-em-ups, with a range of movement and basic moves that will feel right at home with veterans of the genre. Roguelite elements quickly come into play as you're not meant to get too far without failing. When you do, you're brought back to your campsite, where you can use items obtained on your journey to upgrade your characters. These moments are incredibly generous, allowing you to maintain your money, experience points, and other items collected from a run. The only thing you're not able to carry with you are orbs, which work as temporary stat boosts that you can stack on top of each other. The other items you collect can be used to give you new moves, permanently increase your stats, and provide you with possible health regenerations in future runs. One of the ways this is implemented is through individual character skill trees. It's presented nicely and motivates you to jump back into your next run and try again for more unlockables. Experience for your skill tree only pertains to that individual character. Every other upgrade works towards your general future runs regardless of your character. There are quite a few offered upgrades at the campsite, allowing players struggling with several options to make their playthroughs a tad easier. In contrast to some older arcade beat-em-ups that rely on cheap enemy moves, Tunche actually has a more in-depth battle system. Taking influence from modern combat systems in gaming, enemies will quickly telegraph their strike, allowing you to dodge out of the way. This creates a lot of movement when playing and helps keep things a bit more engaging. Darting around the screen, landing hits to vulnerable monsters are excellent and pretty satisfying, especially with more abilities. When you have more attack sections unlocked on your skill tree, you can execute combos. While they're not difficult to pull off, some do take some slight memorization. It can take practice to pull off correctly, and with hordes of enemies attacking, it can be a challenge to recall a particular move as fast as you would like. Along with these combos, there are also long-range magic attacks and specials to consider. One of the best feeling moves is a dedicated attack where you can fling enemies into the air, allowing you to initiate specific air attacks or simply juggle them until their demise. Each character also has a very distinct feel and strengths when playing as them. All this together speaks to Tunche's gameplay depth that isn't always present in other beat-em-ups. Cooperative play and beat-em-ups are basically synonymous for some, and Tunche gives the option for up to 4 players at once in local co-op. This multiplayer adds to the chaos and is a great couch experience. Unfortunately, there isn't an online option that might be the preferred or only available co-op option for some gamers. Perhaps the most striking part of Tunche is the beautiful hand-drawn animations and art style. Character movements flow gracefully and smoothly, adding real life and personality to enemies and heroes alike. Each character has an immensely appealing design, and could easily be mistaken for a high-production animated feature film. Colors and environments are also incredibly vibrant, allowing the Amazonian regions to really pop, giving you pretty backgrounds for your battles. It's immediately evident a ton of love went into making every piece of art and illustration. Because of this, I feel it's a shame that 2 out of the 4 regions happen to look incredibly similar. I understand it must be a challenge to make rainforest environments look different, but they don't stand out nearly as much as the following 2 levels after the rainforest sections. The fact these are the first 2 levels you'll be encountering and will be repeating numerous times, a little more variation would have made it more interesting. It may seem like a small gripe, but it did affect my overall experience and excitement for the game. There were also some bugs that unfortunately are relatively consistent. The most common one is when some enemies are knocked off screen, they get stuck there, forcing you to blindly use your long-range magic to hit them until they're gone. This might be a slight annoyance if it wasn't for the fact that your long-range magical attacks are limited. Unfortunately, because of this and another glitch where your character disappears and can't interact with anything, you are sometimes unable to advance. Luckily, a checkpoint system allows you to return to the previous room you finished, so you don't lose all your progress on a run, but the issue was frequent enough that it happened at least once, if not twice each run I had. Tunche has some performance issues, but it more than makes up for it with its presentation. The combat is thoroughly enjoyable and complex. The visual style and animations are a complete joy, and the roguelite elements are incredibly gorgeous and motivating for players to continue run after run. Tunche provides an entertaining and at times addicting beat-em-up experience, and that's all I could have asked for. Noisy Pixel gives Tunche a 7.5 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching. Noisy Pixel is brought to you by a group of gamers who work hard to bring you news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all our future content.
Noisy Pixel.